Viewer discretion advised.
This video contains gratuitous use of profanity and uncomfortable pauses to compensate for lack of professionalism and original thought. Viewer discretion advised.
Yeah. They always say I couldn't do it. Look at me, I did it too. Me, I locked in. Yeah. Tell me, are you locked in? They always say I couldn't do it. Look at me. I did it. It's about the hustle, baby. I love the hustle, baby. Oh, yeah, that can't lie, baby. Become a member, baby. Hey, tell me, are you locked in? Yeah. Tell me, are you locked in? They always said I couldn't do it. Look at me, I did it. They need you locked in. Yeah. Tell me, are you locked in? They always said I couldn't do it. Look at me, did it. They need you locked in.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tell me, are you locked in?
I got the Casa man in here with me. Look at me, yay. Better catch up, baby. If you smoking like us, roll it up right now. You know what I'm talking about? Fact. Alright. You got the Casa man in the house. Salute. Harlow, I see you. Real odds in the building. Salute. We just came out today because, you know, Hustle Man's all about delivering the truth. And, you know, Mr. Pie right here himself, Mr. Positive Internet Energy himself. You know what I'm saying? The Casa man. Y'all know him as Uncasa, huh? Y'all know what he brought to the game. Y'all know what he delivered. Y'all know the type of waves he paved. Let me open up my chat. Okay, Decapitator of Trolls is in the building. You already know. Y'all know this is my little brother, for real. Outside of this rap shit, outside of this YouTube shit, real life shit. You know what I'm saying? Casa man, how you feeling tonight, my brother?
What's going on, Keith? I'm chilling. Cooling. The Knicks lost, but other than that.
Hey, I'm just glad to have you here. Because y'all know most of the time I always be on Casa platform. But he was like, nigga, what the fuck you doing? Make that thumbnail. Y'all see that thumbnail that's up there? That's me and his mixtape, you know what I'm saying? Or mix album, you know what I'm saying? Because it was original tracks, but we kind of like did it like a mixtape. But we, you know what I'm saying? That's when you introduce to the world the word piff. Yeah, that was when it was put out there. That word piff. You know what I'm saying? Real odds, you know what I'm talking about? And let me tell y'all something. There's been a lot of speculation on, you know, 145th and Broadway. Let me put my jazz on because we not even turned up. We chilling. Hold on. All right, that sounds about right. So yeah, it's been a lot of speculation, you know what I'm saying, on our block and, you know, how it started and how it ended and You know what I'm saying? Yo, you want to elaborate about that? Like the type of spice you been getting on your end before we roll this clip?
Man, I've been getting calls all day, but we're gonna let the clip. We're gonna do our commentating tonight.
Exactly. We got a clip up here we want y'all to see. And y'all check this out. We ain't gonna give it too much extra shit. Y'all just, walk this dogs with us. Walk this dogs with us. No freaky. Alright, let me get this up. Damn, I meant to go wide stream, so let's go. Alright, let's get into this.
Wow. It's historic and it's never been done before. For a long time.
Tell me when to pause, huh?
If you're a fan of the Diplomat's music, you often heard in the early recordings Dipset Taliban reference. You would hear that name often, and this gentleman before me is going to give us insight on the history of the collaboration between the two brands. Please introduce yourself, sir.
What's going on, Gully TV? What's up, y'all? My name is T Money, the Icon. I'm from Harlem, and like he said, me and my cousin Luca Brasi, we started that whole Taliban movement on 145th and Broadway. So
I gotta stop it right there. Okay. Now, the person you looking at right now, this is Mr. Luca Brasi's cousin. Okay. Now, he's not really my cousin, but I accepted him as a cousin. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's how we was moving. We all had to be family. Rest in peace to the cousin that brung us all together, Old Stone, who they never give his proper etiquette to in his prophet reference. So I just got off the phone with his sister Shakira today. Now let me explain something to y'all. The Taliban was not a 1 or 2 person decision. You understand what I'm saying? This was made as a collective. So right then and there, we already got a person who's trying to be the biggest. Let's continue.
Okay, first thing I want to ask you is give my...
That's Gully TV he's being interviewed too. If y'all want to see the video for yourself, I got it sitting right there so y'all can check it out if y'all want to go see it yourself. It just dropped, I think, a couple hours ago or something like that, like 7 hours ago. Let's check it out.
Viewers, some history on the block 45th and Broadway. I always hear this block mentioned on a lot of songs from hip-hop artists from Harlem. Tell my viewers the significance of this block and exactly what this block represents.
okay, so that's not like the block I was born on or came up on or raised on.
That's correct. He's not lying when he talks about that. That's correct. He's not from the west side. He's from the east side. You know what I'm saying? T Money's from the east side. You feel me? Let's continue.
That's a block we started, I would say, like our good business side of things in the beginning.
All right. Now, this is where it gets shaky at, y'all. This is where it gets shaky because he says a lot of hour, and he wasn't even there at this time. In these first beginning stages of 45th, let me break something down to y'all. The whole reason why 45th was chosen as a flagship block to be planted on to start doing our numbers, right? Was because me and Uncasa was running around up and down Broadway, y'all, with boxes of bootleg fucking movies, selling these shits more than niggas was selling weed. More than niggas was selling crack. We was selling these shits like wildfire, yo. You understand what I'm saying? And we got tired of carrying these boxes. These shits is heavy. We little niggas, bro. We carrying 2. He got 2 boxes. I got 2 boxes. We running up and down every day. So we like, you know what? We want to post somewhere where we don't got to keep, you know what I mean, doing all this walking shit. So 45th was like right in the middle because we lived on 151st and Broadway. You understand what I'm down Broadway to like 135th to 3333, right? And come back around, back up. That was our route. You know what I'm saying? I made the route. I was the first person to even decide to sell some shit on the fucking route. You understand what I'm saying? But that's exactly what we did, and this is how we stayed to that block and started to escalate. Now let's continue here what he say.
Like, so how we got to 45th and Broadway, again, my cousin Luca, he had a van up there, and we used to sell icebergs.
Now this is where he lying at again because, check it out, That same van that we talking about, me and Luca Brasi bought that van. That wasn't just his van. We bought that van together. All right. And this was right now he just cut out a whole 2 or 3 years of history in the making to talk about this goddamn van. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So we gonna dissect this. We gonna let him go though.
Sweaters, the long white tees, we started that whole movement. Yeah. Anybody will tell you, everybody had to come up to 45th and Broadway to get them long, stupid white tees.
That's a fact.
Back then, niggas thought those was fire, but today, if you look at that shit, you're like, yo, that was crazy. Yeah. But we were selling icebergs, sweaters, t-shirts, mixtapes and all that. And that's how we got to 45th. So brother Edie Amin, rest in peace, my cousin Shay 5 and Luca. So we'll be up there all day selling t-shirts and iceberg sweaters. And the funny shit was, we was getting more money selling clothes than selling drugs. Right. You know.
Now this is where it gets shaky at, because I don't think T Money never even sold an iceberg or a Coogee sweater. He damn sure never went with us to Canal Street to buy his own. So that's another reason why, it rubs us the wrong way that you mixing these stories up and you mixing them over. I mean, this happened over 20 years ago. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a person could make a mistake, but I'm just saying, gang, you got to tell this story the right way. You understand what I'm saying? Because it was a collective of us that was up there. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of us that was up there way before all of that. Ray, I see you in the building. Salute. Let's get into this shit.
You know what I mean? So that kind of like, we kind of phased the drug shit out, because we was making, some days we'd be making like 7, 8, 9,000 a day.
Now this is how you know his numbers is wrong, because I was making that by myself in one day. If I was making 10, Luch was making about 9. And then so forth and so forth. Kenny Black and whoever else that was out there with us that had sweaters. See, one thing about Un used to be out there with me every day, and Un job wasn't never to sell fake shit or sweaters, you know what I'm saying, or mixtapes. Un was like the only one that was up there willing to battle every fucking person that came to the fucking block. Every fucking person that came through 45th, when we was up there in the crowd, that nigga Un was giving it to everybody. You got anything you want to interject about this before I hit play again?
No, we'll finish letting the audio play and then we'll talk.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, and plus niggas wanted to get out of the game. Now, don't get me fucked up. It was days in the drug game, niggas made way more than that. But to make that type of money legally, that's what I mean by we making more, because we actually going home to our families at 8 o'clock at night and don't got to be on the block trapping. Right. So that's how we got to 45th and Broadway.
So in a nutshell, 45th and Broadway was like one of New York City's shopping districts.
No, that's a misconception. It is and it ain't.
Okay.
So 145th and Broadway is definitely a shopping area, and that'll bring the traction. But that's the underworld. If you know, you know. Yeah. There's a whole lot of everything going on up there, up and down, right. from the east side to the river side. Okay. All of that's all day, every day. It's a lot of everything going on. So at the end of the day, that's what made that block crazy, because you gotta look at it, right? There's a whole lot of everything going on. Yeah. Then there's all the shopping. Then you got Copeland's, the restaurant, fire soul food restaurant. Right. And then you got us selling our bootleg shit and all that. Right. We just brought the flavor to the block. Yeah. You know, because there wasn't no niggas on the block. It's niggas that's from that block that go up and down. I'm talking about like literally hanging. It was really just Oyes up there. Yeah. So we was like the niggas. So when all the niggas came to the block to buy whatever they buy and buy clothes or eat, they running into us.
So when you say Oyes, you're talking about?
Now, you see how he say they running into us? That was my whole mastermind, y'all.
I won't. All right. I'm in the jack right here. I'm not saying T Money's lying. It's an echo on key. I don't know why.
Hold on, I'll fix it. I got it right there. All right, you up?
Hello? Yeah. So everything that he's saying is the truth. It's just the timelines is mixed up. Like he's bunching in a timeline in the comp. He's like his timeline is mixed up. The timeline is totally off. You know what I'm saying? Timeline is
Totally.
totally. It's the timeline is totally off. But continue with the video.
Dominicans and Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
And I don't mean that as no disrespect, because I'm half Puerto Rican.
Right.
But that's what we call them. We call them Oyes.
Yeah.
Oyes on Broadway. So if you know about Broadway, you know the whole Broadway is a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So when y'all took to this block to start merchandising, basically.
Yes.
This block was already active.
This block has been active for years.
Yeah.
It's always going. That block is always going to be active.
When did it start to become?
Oh shit.
Started to see DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
The DVD guy. It was like the DVD guys at the time would go to this block, and you was almost guaranteed to run into some celebrity presence.
Can y'all see?
This I could say this, right? Before we got that block popping like that, it was a couple celebrities like Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather had the Ferrari iced out chain,
Yeah.
he was coming up there, hanging with us, shooting a really bobo with us, pulling up in Ferraris, spending wild bread, getting out of there. The funny thing about that is like I didn't know Floyd was so short. Like, and I told him, I said, you mad short, but he was nice with his hands. And this one, he was pretty boy Floyd.
Yeah.
So, like, he used to come up there. Snoop used to come up there. That's how I met my man Big Fave from Insane in LA. That's my big brother. Shout out to Big Fave. I met Fave through them coming up there, Little Half Dead and all them. Fave actually took us out to Cali.
Yeah.
We was in Snoop House in Chino and all that. I met
Now, when he was talking about that trip, y'all, I was right there. Y'all, on the plane with these guys, right there. Check it out.
Uncle Junebug. I blew a L with Snoop.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that nigga had the gas mask.
And right then and there, y'all, I was the one talking mad shit, telling these niggas they weed was trash. We got piff back home. So Snoop was like, nigga, I bet you can't smoke an ounce of this shit. Anything. So I chose an ounce off the table, and that shit gave me a fucking stomach virus, y'all.
And all that. Like that shit with all Tupac and all them niggas drawing and all that on there.
Yeah.
Like I got up on there. Like I tagged up and all that. And like I said, rest in peace, Cash, Taj Mahal, Little Kiani, all of us, we went out there.
Little Kiani, right? And let me tell you something. RIP to Cash, right? But Cash wouldn't even have went because they didn't give him a plane ticket. I paid for Cash to go out my own pocket, bro. Check it out.
Rest in peace, Cash, Taj Mahal, Little Kiani, all of us, we went out there and we was with Big Favor and we did 3 songs with LT Houghton.
Yeah.
And like I said.
And the name is LT Huntington. Let's give him his proper flowers because he showed us mad love, right?
No, it's LT Hutton.
Hutton.
Hutton. Right. No, LT Hutton.
Hutton, right.
Hutton. Hutton.
Hutton, okay.
So we was hanging with Snoop and them, so.
That's one of the, you kind of like led into, your rebuttal led into my next question. Share with us who the original Taliban was.
Okay, so the original Taliban is me, Luca, Edie, Shay 5, Jay Malice, Foe, Kenny Black, Kiani,
I told you he said Kenny Black name.
Yeah.
Skibo Debo, it's a few more. I'm Ant Live. It's a few more, but like you gotta understand something, right? We all got our own blocks in our own areas. So like when we started popping, like let's just say if it's 10 of us I just named, that's 10 of us with 10 different crews.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So we had like a subsection of Taliban.
So look, right.
Go back into it.
Some of these questions that I'm gonna ask you are based upon conversations I've had with people leading up to this. And I heard so much different shit.
Now we gonna get into it. I ain't gonna hold back.
All right.
One thing I ain't gonna do, Gully.
Yeah.
You can put that on camera. You ask me a question, I'm gonna give you the real answer.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna sugarcoat it unless I gotta protect somebody.
All right. So what you described to me, what I'm extracting
Who needs protection? Though? I'm trying to figure that out.
from this is that the Taliban was a group of hustlers and almost trendsetters.
Right, but let me say this, right? The original Taliban is 5 members. Luca, me, Edie, Shay 5, and Kiana. That's it.
Okay.
Like, I kind of...
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, rest in peace to cousin Shay Shay, but you supposed to have his slot. If we playing musical chairs here. You understand what I'm saying? Because we got to deal with the original.
That's why I say the timelines is all off. But
right.
Continue.
Those is niggas we fuck with and all that, but the original core, the Taliban, and then we all cousins.
Okay.
So it started, how I was raised, how we was raised, is family first.
Absolutely.
Me, my...
Yeah.
Everybody else, they Taliban, but they wasn't sitting at the table. At the table was me and Luca, if we're gonna be honest.
Right.
But then, you know, my brother and my cousin and my other cousin, they original Taliban too.
Was there some type of correlation between the Taliban and the boost phones that came out at the time?
Hell yeah.
I told you, I'm not even...
Now, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to pause it right here because
we can stop it right there.
me and Un been saying this. You know what I'm saying? We've been saying this on his platform, and we broke down how we came up with the burnout phones. You know what I'm saying? How we got the profiles, how we activated them, how we got our hands on the two-way pages, how we was selling all the two-ways. We have Fab and everybody coming to see us. So this is another thing that I don't know. Niggas just be trying to jack us little niggas for everything, bro. They be just trying to jack us for everything. And you know what's funny, y'all? As y'all can see now, who's really still creating and finger fucking these keyboards going. Hold on.
Hold on.
Listen, hold on. Right now, they can see what's going on, who's still creating and all that. I'm about to let you get the mic right now. All I'm saying is, these niggas been trying to take shit from us every which way. You got it, my nigga. Take it away.
All right, cool. We're gonna elaborate. We're gonna elaborate from where they started until where they stopped. Pause the music. We don't even need the music. We'll hit the music a little later.
Let's go.
All right. I met Key, what? 94? 1994?
That had to be about 9-7 to be exact.
No, it was earlier than that.
You know why it's 9-7? My daughter was born in 9-4. She was 2.
All right. All right. Nah, well, when I met Kiana, she wasn't even 2 yet, bro. She was like, she wasn't even walking. She was still a baby. Cause you kicked me out your house and was like, yo, you bringing a nigga here around my baby, bro? My baby only a few months old. I remember it's 1994. Cause Aaron just came from Japan.
Okay.
All right.
Timestamp.
Timestamp. So, as a matter of fact, that's 1993 when he went to Japan. So I met you the winter of 1993, right? 94, we really started kicking it hard. 95, that's when the brotherhood started. 96 was the era of the CBs. 97 is the era of the VCR tapes, right? All right. When me and Key started really kicking it hard, we had took over our block on the weed. Me, him, and my cousin Aaron. and a few others. Once the Jamaicans got kicked out their spot, we took over the weed spot. We sold a bunch of weed. Key went out of town with the money that we had made from the weed, bought us a car, right? Now, before that, Key used to walk up and down from 151st to 135th in Broadway and U-turn from the downtown side to the uptown side with 2 shopping bags full of VCR tapes. Everybody know how heavy a VCR tape. So imagine 50 tapes in one arm and 50 tapes in another arm. Freezing cold, sell every tape, right? Around 9/7, 9/8, we was running the block. Key still was doing the weed and that. So one day, Key told me, like, yo, let me see if you can go out on the block, bro. Go see if you can. I got shit to do. See if you can go get some money off the block. He gave me 50 VCR tapes, and I walked and did the same thing I seen him do for about 2-3 years. I came back with all the money, not a tape in the bag. He was like, see, from there, it wasn't a partnership because Key always, that was always Key thing. He always just showed me how to get money. As we did that, from the 9/7 to 9/8 summer, we got tired of walking up and down Broadway. Me and Key was sitting in the car, the 323, and he was like, yo, bro, we can't keep just walking up and down the same block. We gotta find a strip. So I said, this is the strip. He said, nah, I mean somewhere where we can station. So I said, I bet that sounds like a good idea. So where we gonna station at? He was like, 145th and Broadway, between the block, where all the shopping stores is at. I said, word. All the traffic that's going to the stores is going to become our clientele because they're going to want music and all that. He was like, right, exactly. You know, everybody comes to cop work, cop weed, and cop clothing. The only thing that's missing over there is music. All right. We started parking up early in the morning from about 8 in the morning to about 9 at night. Every day for 2 years. So from 1998 to 2000, we was out there, just me and Key. It wasn't no Taliban. It wasn't no Luca Brasi. T Money wasn't there. It was just me and Kiani.
Simple.
Right? That's because I'm gonna put this timeline down, right? So from 9/8 to 2000, me and Key out there as a 2-man weave, out there hustling every day. Right? The year 2000 come. This is when my record deal and stuff started popping up, because in 1988, I had got a record deal, but it fell through. You know what I'm saying? I had a little money, so we were still running around hustling on 145th. Even when I had a record deal, I still made it my business to come to 145th and Broadway every day. This is when BJ's was open. This is when the pool hall was open. This is when Copeland's was open. The 45th that y'all know today, everything that once was is no longer there. The bar, Chicken Eddie, fried chicken spot right there on the block, the beauty parlor. This is the original 45th surface. The liquor store was on the corner before the Starbucks. The Banco Popular Bank on the corner before the Rite Aid that's there now. I'm telling you the history of 145th in Broadway, how it all started. And it was also a grocery store in a mid block, which we used to go in and out of every day when we wanted to warm up. Right? All right, cool. Year 2000 come. We still out there. I don't know exactly how Key ran across this, but he ran across some iceberg sweaters. grade A replica iceberg sweaters, right? I pull up on the block one day. Key like, yo, we got a new hustle. I'm like, what, we ain't selling the music in the movies no more? He said, nah, we selling the music and music. Well, we gonna sell something that's gonna change the whole way of 145th, and we gonna be cutting these niggas around the corner throat. So I'm like, what you talking about? Key like, I'm gonna show you. So he pulled back a blanket, because he used to have his merchandise covered with a blanket. He pulled the blanket back. He pulled a shirt back, and he threw it on my lap. And I'm like, oh shit. Yo, where you get these icebergs? You ran into a booster. He's like, nah. Niggas got it. These Chinese motherfuckers is geniuses. They got it. Look, they got the iceberg on the elastic. Look, we got the tags. We got everything. So I'm like, you serious? He said, watch this. So we out there. We smoking weed. We chilling. He hop out. First time he hop on the customer. Sold us iceberg sweater for $300. I'm like, hopped out again. Sold another iceberg sweater, $300. Sold another iceberg sweater, $300. He only probably started off with 10 sweaters.
And built the empire.
And built the empire from there. Right? From them 10 sweaters, we is down to the last 3 sweaters. Some guys pulled up in a caravan. Key showed them the sweaters. They was hype. You could tell they was some Brooklyn cats. So they was like, yo, I'm buying all 3. Yo, come to the van. Come get the money. So homeboy jumped in the van. Key jumped in the van. And probably like, I'll say less than 2 to 3 seconds. 2 to 3 seconds, Key hopped out the van and was like, all right. So Key hops in the car as they drive off. And I'm like, yo, what's wrong? He like, yo, these niggas just robbed me, bro. Niggas just pulled out the gun on me. So I'm like, word? So he was like, nah, fuck that. I'm chasing these niggas down. Mind you, we don't even got no gun or nothing. We chase, yo, no lie. We chased these niggas from 145th to about the Brooklyn Bridge. Key was trying to drive these niggas off the road. All that. I was like, yo, Key, I'm with you. I'm gonna ride with you. Well, we gonna die if these niggas if they gun loaded in this real, bro. We chasing it through. We acting like we got a blick. He said, yo, you totally right. We got off on the next exit, headed back uptown. Went back to the post. By the time everything closed, he was like, yo, I gotta bring in some reinforcement, bro. That next day, that's when he brought his cousin Luca. That's when T Money came along. That's when Edie came along. Kenny Black. And that was it for that time. MJ Malice. But in the beginning, Luch, T Money, they wasn't out there full time. It was only me, Jay Malice, and Kiani. It got to a time where I had to leave the block because I told you I had a record deal. So I was living in Jersey at the time. So I was going back and forth to Jersey. Instead of just chilling on the block, he was like, pursue that. That's going to get us off this block. So I'm like, bet. But like I said, no matter what my obligations was with my record deal, I made it my business to come to 145th every day, no matter what, right? So by this time, as I'm taking my little departure from the block, working on my music, other guys start coming to the block through Luca, Foles, guys like Cash, uh,
Cash, Smash, Dash, Fast,
Smash, a bunch of guys. You know what I'm saying?
a bunch of flunkies that,
That
came
that
through our
wasn't
block.
that wasn't the Taliban because the Taliban ain't started until about 2001 after the towers went down. So that's when the Taliban started to form. That's when we took on the name of Taliban. And the Taliban was an acronym for uh what was the acronym again, Key?
Take a look inside
Take a
Black
inside black
American neighborhood.
neighborhoods. Take a look inside black American neighborhoods, Taliban. And that's when the mantra Taliban started. So when the mantra Taliban started, that's right around the turn of the millennium. So a lot of things started coming into fruition. That's when instead of 2 guys out there every day, you got 8 guys out there. Niggas, we playing the corner, we playing the mid block, we playing all 4 perimeters of the block and making sure we get every dollar. We run it down on you, rain, sleet, or snow. We don't matter. And that's how people start getting on to who we was as a hustlers. The van came, that came probably like in 2001. We got the van, gutted out van. Key and Luch got the van, and that's when we turned the van into a mini store. That's where we wasn't, because when we started on her 45th, we was selling everything out the trunk of Key's car. It went from the 323 Mazda to the what was it, the CRX red joint, and it went to the CRX, and it went from the CRX to the van, and then went to the van into a Ford Explorer. Because Key, after Key stopped, it was a time where me and Key used to sleep in that van. It was a time that same van we were selling the merchandise out of every day on her 45th, we turned it into a makeshift studio. So we used to have TVs in there, beat machines, microphones, and we used to park it in front of his crib up there on Gun Hill, and in front of his crib, and use the extension cord from his apartment into the truck. And that's how we used to get the juice to play the beat machines and make beats and rhyme, and make our little makeshift mixtapes back then, before we had money to really go in the studio like that. They mentioned the phones. Nobody was selling phones up there but me and Kiani. Me and Kiani are the only ones that had the dealer code. Me and Kiani are the only ones that knew where the re-up spot was. Me and Kiani was the only ones that was programming the phones. And if you was selling phones, you got them from us. That wasn't a collective thing. Nobody had phones but me and Kiani. So when they say and they wasn't Boost mobile phones, they was Omni Point voice stream phones. So that's where I can stop if you want to chime in.
Doing good.
All right, so like I said, that era of the phones, that wasn't a collective thing, because nobody had the source but me and Key. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, God bless his soul, we had HUD 6 from Harlem World with us every day, and he was another person that was selling the phones with us. So if you had got any phones, burnout phones, in 1999, 2000, 2001, you got them from us. And meaning us is me and Kiani. And everybody else got the phones from us. That wasn't a collective thing. Everybody that had phones got them through us.
You know what's funny too? Let me tell you our work. Our phones lasted longer than 30 days. Let me tell you why. We had the A1 fucking steak sauce profiles. I was buying them by the garbage bag, nigga. You
That's a
heard?
fact.
So
That's
we
a
was
fact.
taking the A joints that was basically approving for 10 lines, and we was only putting 1 line or 2 lines.
That's
Now
a
when
fact.
shit got rough, we had to do what we had to do. We start putting 5 lines
That's a
on a
fact.
joint, and them joints start going down in 2 weeks. One time, nigga, I woke up on Saturday and 100 phones went down, nigga. 100 phones, y'all. 100 phones. People is calling and they want their money back. Mind you, I done bought the phones already, bought the profiles, we done activated them. So everything is, you know what I'm saying, accounted for. How did Hustle Man finagle this, y'all? How did Hustle Man finagle this one? Let me tell you how I did it. So basically, I went to go see everybody who I gave them my word that if the phone go down in 30 days, I'm going to get you your service back. So what I did was I said, yo, give me your phone. I went and jumped in the V and I called up and activated the phone under prepaid. So that way I wouldn't have to buy more SIM chips because them shits cost bread, SIM chips. You feel me? So
It
I
was $50.
reactivated them under prepaid. Hold on, and then boom. When I gave it back to every customer, I told them, here go your guarantee. Now, if it go down after this, it's on you. Obviously, I reactivated it prepaid with 500 minutes on it. So as soon as them 500 minutes went, alakazam, alakazoom, it's on you.
But that when that started happening, that was after 2 years already in really with those phones, because it was phones that, no lie, in 2003, 2004, we were bumping to niggas and they was like, yo, remember them phones we got? Them shits is still on. We like, you lying. It was like, yo, them phones are still on. And like I says, that they must have got one of the phones that was on a grade A profile, and it was only one phone connected to them. We might have sold over, oh man, phones, man, oh man. Bro, when I'm telling you, nobody had more burnout phones on the streets than us. Nobody. And people was coming to buy and by the dozen because they knew we had good product and our shits lasted. The malfunctioning came after we already made a substantial amount of money. So that was a successful run. But when they was talking about the phones, nobody had ends on that but me and Kiani. Yeah. See what the chat saying. Yeah. I can't hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. You gotta tell a nigga when you leave.
Yeah, my bad. I had to check that baby real quick. But go ahead. Where we was at?
The phones.
Yeah, the phones. So like the 2 ways and all that, y'all. Like we've been already told y'all about all this. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish hearing what he got to say about these phones.
Tell me, listen
They
to me.
came out of nowhere.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is the thing, right? We started on. You asked me how we started on 145th.
Yeah.
That's not how we ended.
Okay.
This is a long ride.
Yeah.
No homo. So at the end of the day, when we started, we were selling icebergs and all that. Then, like the movie, I got the hook up. We got the phones.
Right.
And we sold the whole, I ain't gonna say Harlem, we probably sold the whole East Coast phones.
Yeah.
Everybody was on that line.
Yeah.
The Boost Mobiles and the Nextels.
Yeah.
Man, and we even had 2 ways. Like yes, that's true.
So people could come to the block, buy the phone, and y'all could plug and put them right online, right up there on the strip?
They was buying the phones with the phones on.
Okay.
So it's like a block.
Yeah.
$500.
And how long was people rocking out with the phone line?
We was guaranteed at least 2.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. He's lying, y'all. We was selling them phones for like what, $100,
150,
150
150, 150.
wholesale. Cause see, remember, y'all, we had wholesale, so people came and bought in bulk from us. You know,
Let me
10,
tell.
15.
So let's break it down to him, right? So we don't insult nobody. We just going to just say people don't know the information, right? We had a spot, and this was over 20, 25 years ago. We had a spot up on Southern Boulevard. It was an electronic spot. It didn't only just sell phones, it sold clocks, TVs, radios, Super Nintendo, anything electronic. It was an electronic store. And this guy used to sell us the phones with the chips that you had to activate. The phones was probably about, when we started, the phones was like probably like $40, $50 a phone. As time went on, they seen how many phones was buying, so they was trying to raise it up, $65, $70 a phone. But we always chewed them down to the original price, right? So now, after you get the phone, you just got a phone in a box. It's not connected. So now you get a profile, but you can have a profile in the phone and the phone's still not connected. You also have to have a dealer's code. Yes, you can have the dealer's code, the phone, and a profile, and the phone still won't be on because there's a certain way you have to conduct yourself when you're connecting these phones. So I'll give you the rundown. So basically, if you have a dealer's code and you have a profile, now you have an activation number. So when you call up the activation number, you be like, "Hi, my name is Brian. I'm from LL Cool Smith's phone phone store. I would like to activate a phone today." So they'd be like, "Okay, cool. How you doing, Brian? What's going on? How's the weather in New York? This, that, and the thing." You have a little conversation. So it's really acting. It's no different from what these guys are doing
Role
now.
play, y'all. Role play.
You got to role play. So
Salute the
they,
real.
so they be like, "Okay, Brian. Can you what's the information to, well, today Susan Johnson wants to activate 2 lines, such and such." So you read off their information, all the information from their profile, and they be like, "Okay, hold on for a few seconds," and then they be like, "It activated." But before that, you got to say a dealer's code. So I'm not gonna say the dealer's code that we had, but just say the dealer's code is 26664. So tell them the dealer's code. They be like, "Okay, wait 1 second." You hear a little elevator music. Then they come back and they be like, "Phones are activated," and then they start telling you to tell them the IME number on the phone, on the back of the phone. So you tell the number. Once you tell them the IMEI number on the back of the phone, they be like, "Hold on 1 second." Once you give them all the information from the back of the phones, they be like, "Okay, activate it." And then they be like, for the first phone and they be telling you for the first IME number, they'll give you the phone number. So you write the phone number down on the box. After they give you the number phone number, write that on the box. And after that, you just tell them to have a good day and thank you for their service and all that. And that's it. And that's how you hooked up the phones back then. But you had to have a dealer's code and you had to know what you was doing. And he taught me how to do it because I watched him. And he was like, "I can't be fucking doing all these phones by myself. I need somebody to help me." So he showed me step by step. And from there, we was off to the races. And like I said, that wasn't a collective thing. If you got a phone from niggas on 45th, they had to get it from us because nobody had that. Am I lying? Or am I?
It's a fact.
Stop me. So
That's a
I
whole fact.
we can continue with the
These niggas
video.
know what it is, though. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know why they want to keep twisting up stuff in 2025, but let me continue with this. See what this is almost over, y'all.
2 months. Yeah. What made us so fire was that niggas was getting 90 days, 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Niggas just wasn't getting turned off. This is when that shit started.
Right.
So, like, yeah, we had to block crazy. Like I said, that's just one other venture and all of that.
All right. One after another, I'm gonna fire out these questions based on some insight that I've come across. Explain to me the origin of the word piff and how it relates to 45th and Broadway.
Okay. Well, piff is weed.
Okay.
But it's also, it's like fireweed.
All right.
So it could be used as, that's piff too, like that's fire.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So piff means the fire weed, but it also means like, yo, that's fire, that's mean.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So Little Kiani came up with the
I don't know why this nigga keep calling me little fucking Kiani, yo. This
Alright,
fucking nigga T Money, yo.
Alright. So we're gonna
Yo, you just coming on in right now, man. Hit that like button, bro. We got 807
Alright.
in the building, man. Come on, what we talking about?
Shout out to T Money, man. Alright. Like I said, shout out to T Dollar. Alright, so we're gonna break this. So we're gonna break this down, right? What they was just talking about, Keith? Because I'm a little faded.
The phones, man.
Alright, the phones. The phones. Alright, cool, right? Now play the playback. They wasn't talking about the phones. They had got the phones. Oh, the piff.
The piff.
All right.
Yeah, the piff.
There you go. See,
Lil
the piff
Kiani made the word the piff. And y'all see the cover on the front. Y'all see the cover on the thumbnail. I found it. I went into the crates, y'all. I fucking found it. That was the actual CD, like Skibo would say.
All right. All right, now check this, right? We're going to break down the origin of the word piff, how everybody from that piff.com to piff unit to anybody, and this is no disrespect or no slate or no shot. This is how the word piff got out to the world. If I'm lying,
you ain't lying, brother. You're not lying.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. That's that's on my flag. That's on my motherfucking plaque. That's on my soul. That's on my life. Now check this. We met in the endeavors of our time traveling. We met two brothers. Matter of fact, we met two brothers and a cousin. They go by the name 456. They was rappers, they was hustlers, they was just like us. They rep Yonkers, they rep Far Rock, they rep Harlem. Wherever they lived at, they just brothers that's been traveling and living everywhere. Hustling, family, right? We met these guys. They took a liking to us. We took a liking to them. We became family. Key, at the time, was the one out of all of us since young, always had his own apartment. So Key house used to always be the main base. So one day we go to Key's house up on Gun Hill. He had the big ass apartment on Gun Hill. So we go up there, eat Chinese food, smoke weed, and rhyme all night. I mean, from the time we get there, we rhyming until the sun come up. We never ran out of piff. We always had weed. We never ran out of momentum. It was like, yo, we was just rhyming and coming up with ideas and making beats all night. Am I lying?
Fact.
All right, cool. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when if I got the timeline mixed up, anything. All right, so cool. Steph Spanks, Jitterbug, and Cuzzo. That's 456. They had a rhyme where one of the lines they say, um, um, I'm flipping on the tow booth, man. Chocolate in hand. Two African men and stolen and stolen what look, they said Piffin, he said Piffin blowing smoke on the tow booth, man. Chocolate in hand. Two African men and stolen dollar van, right? So when they said that, I said, hold on. I said, yo, what's Piffin? They was like, yo, we Piffin. This is Piff. Them boots you got on, that's Piff. That hat is Piff. We Piff. From that day on, that's how the word Piff got on the world, right? From that day, right in Kiani is the birth of the word Piff. P-I-double-F, right? Now, being the creative guys that we are, now we bringing what we did in Kiani's crib to Hump 45th. Now we talking the Piff, we talking the Piff language. Just like how Mobb Deep and them had the Thun language, we talking the Piff language. And niggas is looking at us like we crazy because they like, what the fuck y'all niggas talking about? We piffing, nigga. Y'all piffing, don't you mean puffing? No, y'all puffing, we piffing. So niggas like piffing? Yeah, we piffing. We got the piff. We is the piff. Piff wasn't just weed. Piff was anything that was fire. So instead of us saying dope or fresh or crazy or bananas, we said it was piff. So after we saying it's piff and we piffing, now me and Key create the soundtrack for the world to understand what piff is. And we dropped this, right? And we dropped the CD.
I see the cover.
Right? We dropped the CD. And that's when you can really say the camaraderie of when Dipset and everybody start coming around Hump 45th. Right?
Right.
Me and Key was recording music on the most hideous, lowest quality equipment ever, but we made the streets love it.
Facts.
We made the streets love it. Then as time went on, we started using the proceeds from what we was making off our hustle on Hump 45th, and it was a studio right up the block from us.
Boom, bam, right there.
The penthouse.
The penthouse.
Right? So, what? And in the midst of all of that, me and Key putting out the Piff CD and all that, people started coming to Hump 45th because we had brought the momentum far as the music aspect. This is where the J.R. Riders, the Fred the Godsons, the Virginia Slims, the Hell Rails.
Shout out to Virginia Slim, man.
Right? This is where this comes into play, right? Within the midst of doing all that, we running into all the upcoming guys that's legends now. The K Slays, the DJ Capones, the DJ Rated R's. We was bumping to these guys because Double Law, because we was the guys that was going down to the re-up spots every day. And we were bumping to K Slay dropping off his tape. We were bumping to DJ Capone. We were bumping to J Arms and stuff like that. So that's how we began to meet them. And we used to get, and he used to everywhere Key he always kept gadgets with him. Key was always into gadgets, walkie-talkies,
Just
all
like I am now. Y'all know that.
walkie-talkie, CBs, walkie-talkie watches, anything with communication, anything that he just loved communications. So at that time, we started getting drops from everybody that we would bump into. Key used to walk around with this little recorder about this big, and he used to make people do drops on it. And he would take the drops, the audio from the recorder, and jack it to his stereo system at the crib and use the drops for the mixtapes we would make. We would make our own mixtapes because it was like, oh, Key was like, yo, if these niggas don't want to put you on no mixtapes, we gonna make our own shits. I'm gonna do the drops, all that. So it got to a point where Key was my DJ drama. He was basically bringing my freestyles, bringing them back, dropping them bombs, all that, bringing it back 4 times so you can hear it. And
Right.
that's what really jumped off the Piff's CD. So in the midst of the making of Piff, we was running into other guys in the music industry. God bless his soul. Headquarters. Headquarters was a promotion guy that used to run around and do promotion for Raucous Records. So he would come to Hump 45th and check us all the time. So in the midst of Hump 45th days, it was this crew, a record company called DFL. Shout out to Stu, shout out to Hero, shout out to Small, shout out to everybody, Chance, everybody that has something to do with DFL. So they would always come through the block and they would always challenge me, telling me that they artist Hell Rel was better than me.
Uh-oh.
So
Hold on. All right, sit back, relax, and enjoy this new content, and let's re-engage together. All right, go ahead, give it to him.
So they would always come over to Hump 45th to go shopping, get sneakers, clothes, Copeland's, weed, or whatever. And they would always try to debate with Key. And Key used to be like, yo, my man, the air Hell Rel out. That nigga Hell Rel can't fuck with my man, huh? Y'all niggas is bugging. That nigga's not on his level. So one day, Headquarters came up to Hump 45th. He said, yo, I just got all my plaques for all the work, all the promotional work I did. I'm gonna have a photo shoot in front of Yankee Stadium. And this was the old Yankee Stadium, not the new Yankee Stadium. They was still building the new Yankee Stadium. The old Yankee Stadium was still standing. So the whole Taliban went over there on the highway, right in front of the Yankee Stadium to get a good photo shot. And he gave us all Raucous Records hoodies to all the artists like Big Al, everybody. You got that picture? You see that picture right there? That picture right there is the day I battled Hell Rel. Right there. That picture right there. If you can zoom in close, you will see me right next to Key. We both got on cream hoodies. Right? So out of nowhere, we on the highway taking pictures. The whole Taliban. Who pulls up? Cameron. You remember that?
Do I remember? Or you asking
I'm asking you.
Yeah, nigga, I
All right,
remember. Hell yeah.
all right. So we on the highway. This is how divine intervention works in life. So let the viewers know that we not lying about nothing. We on the highway. Cam pulls up. Yo, what y'all doing over here? Yo, we got a photo shoot. All right. He chilled for about 5-10 minutes. Jetted off on the highway. Out of nowhere, right after Cam pulls off, who pulls up in a black and silver van? DFL. And who they got with them? Hell Rel. Gotta light my blunt for this. So Stu, Chance, Hero, all them get out. And they like, yeah, Hell Rail right here. What's up now? So I'm like, nigga, you already know what's up with me. Y'all niggas know don't even play with me with that type of shit. You know I air any nigga out. I don't care who it is. This the Hell Rail nigga. What's up? What you wanna do? Alright. So niggas don't think I'm kissing my own ass or pulling my own dick. You tell them from right there to the rest of the story.
Oh yeah, he started trying to come with them bars he had, and once you smoked them, basically he got off 116, y'all.
He
When Un
tapped
hit
out.
him with 216s after that, maybe three, he didn't even want to rap no more, y'all. He was
He,
like,
you got it.
"That's what's up." He did some shit like this. Let me try to reenact it real good. Once you burnt him and said that final bar, and it was his turn to go, he bowed out gracefully. He was like, "Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up." You know the Hell Rail voice. That's what's up. That's what's up. He had nothing to come back after that. And ever since that point, because he wasn't like a sore loser, that's how we embraced him. That's what made
Right?
us embrace him because he wasn't a
So
sore
I'll tell
loser
you,
like everybody
so
else.
I'll tell you verbatim what he said. He said he got it. He the truth. He got it. I was different back then. I was super hungry. And probably like 2 days later, L Rail started coming to Hum 45th. Right? In the midst of that, we was recording the final the finishing touches of the purple the Piff CD, right? We did a lot of the songs in Key House, but we did a lot of stuff in the studio too. So whatever songs I did in the studio when I was with Cheryl and them, whatever studio songs we did, whatever little freestyles we was doing in the crib, we just bunched everything up to an album and we engineered it in the studio. So in the midst of putting the finishing touches on it, we did a freestyle and we invited Harold Rell to the studio session. And the freestyle song that he did with us was the Just Fire of Just Blaze, Cam, Beanie, and Bleak Beat. Me, Kiani, and Hell Rell rhymed on that. Right? Luch, and this is no disrespect to nobody. Luch never played nothing for Cam. Me and Kiani played that song for Cam when he pulled up on the block. Cause it was off his beat. And when he heard Hell Rell, that's when he fell in love with Hell Rell bars. He was like, yo, who that? I was already solidified. When he heard Hell Rell on that freestyle with me and Key, that's what made Cam tell Luch to make the
I
formal
want him,
introduction.
basically. I want him, nigga.
Yeah.
You heard?
And that's how Hell Rell became a part of the Diplomats. So let's rewind.
Simple as that.
So let's rewind now. So now if you take me and Kiani out to circumference, it is no Taliban. It is none of that shit because there's no reason to go to Hum 45th and we didn't put the flag there. We put the flag there. Just like how Ray Ray was saying and in South Central, Deuce started off with 2 members. That if Deuce was the Taliban, the original tree of it, it started off with 2 members. And that's me and Kiani. Because we the ones that put in the footwork. We the ones that came up
Actually,
with.
give it to him straight. What was our name before that Taliban bullshit?
Okay, before the Taliban, and I have Taliban tatted on me. Before it was even Taliban, that's why I said Taliban came later before anything. Like I said, Taliban ain't coming to the big,
Yeah,
you
Luch
know,
made that shit up.
yeah,
I'm not gonna cap on that. He
yeah.
definitely created that
He,
whole persona of some Taliban shit being some type of
yeah, like, cause you
But
know,
just
cause
talk about what we was.
Yeah, so before anybody was screaming "Tease Up" or Taliban,
Or
it was
Dipset or anything.
or Dipset or anything. It was OTF, off
The
the muscle,
OTM, OTM,
OTM, off the muscle, straight paper entertainment. That's
straight
what it
paper.
was.
Straight paper.
So after the towers
Hustle
went,
Man fucking productions, nigga.
so after the towers went down and
Oh,
all that Muhammad Atta and all that towers, and that's when we took on the moniker Taliban because we thought it was like some tough shit. We was young, dumb, and we didn't even know what we was taking on. And then we knew it was getting negative flack because Jewel started saying it in his rhymes, the Harlem World Taliban. So it started getting flack. So we, right then and there, they came up with an acronym for what Taliban, which was, uh,
what it stood for?
uh, I keep forgetting. Uh,
What? Take a look inside Black
yeah,
American neighborhoods.
yeah. Take a look inside Black
Terry in the
America.
building. I see you. Salute T.
Yeah, take a look in the Black American neighborhoods. That's what Taliban stands from, right? Now, this is where we really get critical at and tap in to the viewers, right? We're gonna go a little deeper. Where y'all think future free band gang Taliban comes from? It comes from us. Why? They were big fans of the Dipset. Why you think the free band Taliban logo is the Dipset bird? People never did the math to that. Look at Future's chains. It's the diplomat bird. It's the same bird. And they call themselves the free gang,
Free band.
free bands, Taliban gang. That all stems from us. We the ones that put that out there to the world, and everybody took it down to the Dat Piff website. If we knew what we was putting out there, we would be gazillionaires right now. If we knew the trademark, the word piff, it's the proof is in the pudding. It's right there. The cover, the thumbnail is right there. The proof is in the pudding. You can look at the thumbnail. That's the piff. That's the CD that started off the reason why y'all ever called the
Tell them niggas
strand
about that
purple.
book that came with that CD.
Okay. So this is when, and I'm not going to take all credit with this. Kiani knew what monetizing was before YouTube, before StreamYard, before any Twitch, anything. And this is before Instagram. This is before MySpace. One day we sitting in Key's car. We chilling, we smoking, eating White Castle. This is when Key used to order White Castle, take all the hamburger meat off the burgers, put French fries on the bread and eat it like that. That's how I used to eat White Castle. Just a little sidebar, because I try to paint a picture for y'all. So we sitting in a 323, right? No, we ain't got the 323. I'm tripping. We passed the 3. We sitting in the Explorer. We sitting in the Black's Explorer with the big speakers in the back. So we pulled over on a side street, smoking. We eating White Castle, and he like, yo, son, I got it. He grabbed my arm, man, hard. I'm like, yo, eat.
He remembered something.
I said, yo, get the fuck off my arm, bro. Why you grabbing me like that? He's like, yo. So when Key get hyped, one of his eyes get real small and the other one be wide open. So when he gave me that look, he said, yo, I got it. Right? So the nigga said, yo, I got it. Hey, yo, fam. He said, yo, hun, I got it, fam. I said, what, Key? He said, listen, He said, yo, when we finish mixing, when we drop the tape, right? This is how we gonna kill it. And this is after the piff. This is after our success with the piff. This is the best of Uncasa days, right? He said, yo, we gonna buy composition notebooks, right? And everybody that buy a CD, we gonna make them sign the book. So that's tracking ourselves. So if we go to a record company, we can show these niggas how we really sold these out the trunk. We gonna make niggas put their name, their number down, their address, everything. So I'm like, I look over to him. I said, yo, that's a fucking genius idea, yo. And next morning, we got up. We went to like a little novelty store somewhere uptown in the Bronx. He got like 3 notebooks, a couple of pens. He wrote on the front of it, the best of Uncasa. And as we sold the CD, we made people sign their name. And when I tell you, like, to see 40, 50, 60 pages front and back with addresses and phone numbers and mind you, people not only buying 1 CD, it's some people that's down for 5 sales. There's some people that's down for 2 sales. There's some people that's down for 3 sales. 50 pages in a notebook back to back. Like, it was incredible, and it just go to show you where his mind was back there to like to monetize as proof of how many units we were moving. Because he always studied guys like Master P, like he the guy, like, before it was cool to listen to South music, to be a nigga from up north, Key was that nigga that was listening to everybody from No Limit. And when I tell you No Limit, he wasn't just listening to Master P. He was listening to Master P, Mr. Swerve On, Cain and Abel, Maya X, Fiend, Mystical, Silk the Shocker. Yo, I used to hate when he played that shit. Silk the Shocker, C Murder. I just named damn near half their family. All them niggas. Fiend, Mr. Swerve On. He played all them niggas. Kilo, everybody. Tila, everybody. Key played. Niggas was not playing. In 97, 98, y'all niggas wasn't listening to that. Key was, and I was listening to it because he was putting me on to it. Now, that's what made Key think like an entrepreneur. He was like, yo, Master P and them niggas are selling shit out the trunk. We got to show niggas we can do the same thing. Because we was already making other niggas in the street clue and all these other niggas hot because we was selling the most mixtapes. Far as in Harlem, we had, and Music Hut and all them was doing numbers. We had them niggas beat by 10. They don't open up until 11, 12 o'clock. We open up at 7:30 in the morning to 9, 10 o'clock at night. 365 days a year, even on Sundays. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, birthdays, we out there. You know how many birthdays I spent on 145th and Broadway? You know how many birthdays Keith spent on 145th and Broadway? Luca? Yeah. That's how it all started, man. This is the truth. This is the origin. This is the holy grail of the Taliban legacy. It starts. It got to start with somebody, and this is the truth. I ain't trying to make myself look big or nothing. This is the truth. Word. Remember them days vividly. I remember those days vividly. And everybody, and I don't put nobody down. everybody as a collective made the Taliban move. T-Money, Luca, Edie, Kenny Black, myself, Kiani, the architect, Fo. And I'm telling you, like, everybody wasn't there from the beginning. It was only a very few. Can't leave out Jay Malice, can't leave out Skibo Debo. Can't. And then this is what got so crazy. Taliban spread it out to where we had different spots. Key had to where Skibo and K Saz post up by the check cashing place in the Bronx. Yo, go post up over there. Go get the money over there. We gonna keep this bubbling right here. You know how much ground me and Key touched through the city? It was a time where before we planted the flag on 145th and Broadway, we would hit up every part of Harlem, every part of the Bronx, and I'm talking about every day, selling music. We sold more music at a time than we were selling drugs, and that's a fact. Nobody had more exclusive music than us because we there before niggas get there. Key the type of nigga. Let me tell you, he's the greatest motivator in the world. That's why I'm gonna always give Key his flowers. Key the type of nigga that motivate you so much to where he can possibly get you to do any fucking thing. I'm telling you. Meaning, it was times where Key be like, yo, we gotta be the first ones at the re-up spot tomorrow. Let's sleep in the car. I'm gonna get the TV out. We're gonna watch movies and smoke and eat into the morning. And you will sit there and just be like, fuck it. We sit there, watch movies, smoke, eat, sleep in the car, wake up, go to the store, get 2 waters, a toothbrush, toothpaste, brush our teeth in the car, go get something to eat, go to Elliott, get weed, start our day, shoot straight down to Canal Street. Back uptown before 10 a.m. just to get a parking spot. Like that's how Taliban, that's how that whole 45th shit started. Nobody seen that vision. It wasn't like niggas was as a collective was like, yo, this is what me and Key, we sniffed that out on our own. Really.
Thank you. That's all I wanted you to say. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me pay these bills.
Prepare for the next evolution in content creation. Hustleman 3.0 is blazing the trail as the first content creator to seamlessly infuse AI into live streams. Hustleman and Esteban are breaking barriers and rewriting the rules, setting the gold standard for everyone who follows. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. No cap.
That's a fact. They need
Like,
to play catch up now. Because we in a whole new era. Lyrics, I see you. Salute, salute, salute.
Like when you tell these stories, you can't leave out the foundation. That's like a building can't stand without the foundation. The foundation is the foundation. Everything else is just mascara. Everything else is just cosmetics. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start with the foundation, and the foundation is 3-4 winters straight walking up and down from 151st to 135th, uptown, downtown side, sometimes twice to get rid of everything. And then going to the African guys that was in the storage units, going to them, copping everything. Key showed me the underworld of all that shit. That shit used to blow my mind. I'd be like, yo, this is where everybody getting their tapes from. I never missed a movie. Any movie came out, we had first. Any movie came out, any CD came out, we never moved. And we used to get the best, I don't know who Key met these Africans, but they always had the clearest copies. We never was selling niggas copies when niggas was getting up in the middle of the movie. We damn near getting screening copies of movies. We never got the ones you getting up in the movie. You see niggas getting up to go to the bathroom or getting up to get popcorn. You don't see that. The camera shaking now. We got screen copies of everything. What was a hit movie that came out that we went crazy on? I think whatchamacallit came out on DVD, I think. And this was early on. This was like 9/7, 9/8. One of these movies, like Key used to sell all the Goodfellas, the Scarfaces, the Pawns, all the Fight Juice, any movie that came out. We the first ones that had paid in full. And like I said, we had the original paid in full. We were selling niggas is better than the ones that y'all see on Netflix.
The R. Kelly tape, niggas. That's my work. That's my work. All right.
Let me tell them a little story with the R. Kelly tape, right? Now, guys that came to her 45th, some people gonna be tuning in, they gonna be watching this, right? We only had one copy of the R. Kelly tape. We never had numerous copies of the tape, right? We had at this time, shout out to Uncle Al. You can't, if you talking about the Taliban, you gotta shout out Uncle Al, right? Uncle Al was an OG driver that used to drive if y'all seen that Diplomat Cameron van driving through the Bronx, Brooklyn, or Harlem, that's who was driving it, Uncle Al. All right, so at this time, we got rid of the van. Now we working out of Uncle Al's van. It's wrapped with the Cameron joint, right? Before it was wrapped, it was just an all-white conversion van, right? So at that time, we had the TV in there. So we would show them the tape. They'd be like, oh, all right, give them a blank tape, sell them the blank tape for $100. They'd come back the next day, be like, yo, the tape is blank. Be like, oh, word. Dig in a box of blank tapes, give them another blank tape.
This nigga's crazy.
I'm just being honest. I'm just keeping it all the way official. And like, let me tell you, 45th Taliban, yeah, we was a big camaraderie of culture that was on 45th, but it wasn't just us alone. The Hispanics, the Dominicans also was a part of the culture, and the things that existed. The store goers, the people that worked in the stores, Johnny Versace, the guy that worked at BJ's, Carlos,
Versace.
You know what I'm saying? Wendy, all the girls that we watched since they was 15, 14, growing up to be grown women and having kids. Tati, all the girls that grew up in the stores on Broadway. We watched them girls grow up from little girls to grown women in these stores. The pool hall. You know how much money was made in that pool hall? I'm talking about real history. It wasn't just the Taliban. We was a big part of it, but as a collective, shout out to GQ, 555, the Twins. It was a camaraderie of people that made Hunt 45th what it was. It wasn't just us. I'm never gonna leave people out. I'm gonna give everybody they just do. Shout to Quince. Quince was the guy that was out there selling Quince was the guy that was out there selling socks, skellies, long johns, gloves, hats, ski masks. That was Spence. everybody was like, you couldn't come to 145th and not like, that was the land of the true hustler. Like people getting up early in the morning, rain, sleet, or snow. Spence used to be out there right with us. Rain, sleet, or snow with plastic over his merchandise out there selling hats, gloves, umbrellas, socks, lawn johns, t-shirts, drawers. You can't forget about Trina. You can't forget about Trina that worked in the hair salon. You can't forget about T that was the barber in the hair salon. You can't forget about Chicken Eddie, the Jamaicans that ran the chicken spot. You can't forget about uh what's the Jamaican guy that owned the bar?
Spence.
Spence. What's
Yeah,
the
Vince
Vince?
was the one outside. Spence
Vince.
is inside.
Yeah, Spence owned the bar. Vince was the ones that was selling the socks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you had Triple Nickel, the Twins, and GQ, and um, what's the guy that was from their crew that wound up living with you?
Yoshi.
Yoshi. You know what I'm saying? I'm shouting out everybody. You know what I'm saying? Double Trouble. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Black. Like, Hum 45th was a collective of people. The people that worked in Copeland's. Omar that's still there over there on Hum 45th. I seen him when he first came over to America until he got a great beard. Like this is like this like yeah, like yo Key, let's talk on a positive note, right? What are some of your fondest memories of being on Hum 45th? Besides making a lot of money.
I don't know. Just seeing us
Cause
come together
cause
for
cause
like just come together to do something. You know what I'm
nah,
saying?
cause we not going front. We had a lot of we had a lot of fun times out there. We enjoyed a lot of fun times as we was hustling. It wasn't like you had to break a sweat to make a dollar at a certain point. It got to a point where people just was coming up there to spend money and to chill with us just because we was a bunch of cool dudes. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of fun times. I remember the times out there, summer times, we'll be out there 100 degrees and we'd just be making money fist over dollar. And we drinking Moet and we smoking weed and we eating good and we getting fresh in the middle of the day, going and hip hop and go buy a pair of sneakers, go across the street and buy a pair of shorts and a t-shirt from the sales rack and a fitting and we fresh. Like, I remember those days, bro. I don't ever want, because people don't, timelines is mixed up or anything like that to take away from what we accomplished. We accomplished a hell of a lot. We gave people a different outlet that you don't gotta go rob nobody. You ain't gotta go sell nobody crack or nothing. You can come right here on this block and sell CDs. You can sell a DVD. You know what I'm saying? That's what we showed you. You know what I'm saying? And that hustle fed a lot of families, man, for a very long time. And unfortunately, it didn't end on like it didn't end on a positive note. You know what I'm saying? It was just like we hit now, like here today, going tomorrow type shit. Cause it got to a point to where everybody just disappeared, bro. You remember that?
I can't forget. I remember. I
When did
remember everything.
when did you realize it? When was it your last day on Hum 45th when you said, "Yo, grand opening, grand closing"?
when Luca Brasi started robbing all the customers and all of his rest of his little crew. Like, remember how he was saying earlier, y'all, how everybody had like their own different crews within the crew? Well, they crew started going rogue and started robbing everybody and shit like that. So once that happened, and I seen that they didn't get no longer give no fucks given, you know what I'm saying, far as our safety, right? Like somebody coming through the block spraying it up, looking for these niggas who just robbed them for 40,000. I said, it's over, baby. It's over. Gotta go. Gotta go.
You
Gotta
know,
go. Gotta go.
you, all right. So let me explain that part, right? Because it's always a positive way to explain things, right? It got to a certain point, right, where the energy shifted on the hill. Is when you got a bunch of earners intertwined with a bunch of thieves, and when the money that they not getting is enough, they start seeing things and taking chances. Now you fucking up the whole camaraderie and the flow of things of something that niggas built with their blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that did it, they didn't care because they didn't help build it. All they did was rape and pillaged it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it came between, I say, like 2002, 2003 is when shit from what other niggas was doing started to rub off within our crew. Niggas started being followers and start doing this shit because we gonna just call them the gooses. It used to be a bunch of guys that be standing on 145th all day, and they would con guys out their money, making them think they got work. And these guys would trust guys with 10,000, 40,000, 25. Niggas would hear about these licks. So
Big
niggas
money.
was so niggas was like, no lie. These guys that was up there goosing niggas was hitting niggas for 50,000, 40,000, 35. And how we would know, because niggas would come to us because they know we the niggas on the block. They know we there from damn
And
near
half
sun,
of the niggas that came had supposed to come see us, but
right?
they got goose by them. So
So
now they
right,
taking money out our pocket.
so right. So now niggas start robbing niggas, selling niggas fake work, running off, doing dumb shit. And now what people looked at as honorable is starting to look at us as pieces of shit as a whole. Because it's making it look like it's a collective going on, like we faked the people out for years. Like these niggas came over and made themselves look like they was honest niggas that found another way to get the same type of money. But for the whole time, niggas was rocking us to sleep to come up here and start doing bullshit. And that was never the case. Me and Key, Ani never partake in none of that type of shit. We never partake in none of that type of shit. Key, since I've known him, never got me to do no underhanded shit for no money. You know what I'm saying? Whatever a nigga was doing, nigga, if it was a hustle or we got over to make ends meet, that's it. We never got over on niggas. We never beat niggas. Any niggas that ever came to us, they got quality shit. Even when we was selling bootleg icebergs and Coogis, because the quality of shit we was selling, nobody ain't seen on this planet. They don't even, I don't. What you think now? The quality is better then or now on far as the bootleg market?
I think it's better now from when we was getting it. You know what I'm saying? I
I,
feel
I
like they had the stitching and everything down pack, right? They had the patterns down pack. They had the replica. But I just feel like now, from what we're playing with now, you know what I'm saying? Like when it come to like a Mary and
I
certain shit
so
we
I
playing with
so
now,
how
is
would you
is
grade? So
no
how would you grade the icebergs and Coogis and shit we were selling back then?
garbage.
Right? All right,
Trash.
you'll
You
say
know why I say
trash
that? Because every
garbage.
time you washed it, it always was shrunk
I
or some
now
shit.
now fuck the quality of it, like far as what you wash or whatever, right? My homegirl Ross, my old manager, called me on FaceTime one time. I think she found like 2 of those sweaters in a crib in Jersey, right? And when I looked at them, Key, them shits looked so official and fire. Like, yo, bro, like the this is the reason. Like, if they was on some shit to where they was looking like bullshit, like niggas went and bought them. Now we had some shits that was looking like on some goofy shit, like them big
Oh
knitted
nah,
shits.
that's what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. Let me be clear. People pay attention. What I'm saying is this: the shit we was presenting them was A1 steak sauce. But once you try to wash it, it wasn't able to keep it and add it to your collection of clothes. It
Unless
wouldn't
you,
stand the test of time unless you threw it in the cleaners.
and this is the thing that a lot of people was doing. Now, we found out you couldn't watch the shit because sometimes it was like tunnel or some shit like that, and a store might be closed just before you went and got you a shirt, and then you be like, yo, I'm throwing on one of them Bergs, fuck that. And niggas, and that right there would make niggas see us in a club and come to 145th the next day and cop out. Like, I couldn't believe, yo, that I remember the day perfectly when I came to that block and I see, like, this is when the Coogee, we had the Coogee with the bar, with the hat, the same shit that was in the store. But when y'all was getting them knitted Coogees with the hat, I was like, oh my God, where is they getting this shit from, bro? Where is they getting this shit? Cause
We
you
see
could
now,
not.
right, y'all? We see where they was getting it from now. We see the move that China's pulling, right?
Now I see. But I'm telling niggas, we had grade A, and all niggas thought they was doing was buying a half price sweater new. That's all niggas thought they was doing. Still to this day, and niggas will tell you, if we did a documentary and we interviewed some of the niggas that was buying merchandise from us, they'll tell you, man, I was fucking the meanest bitches. I was going to the tunnel, all that and them shits, and nobody knew the difference. Nobody knew the difference.
Especially when you let that jewelry lay down on top of it.
Like, let's keep it 100, right? Like,
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna talk to him while you go. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Coming up in the early 2000s, right? The bootleg gang was kind of like the underworld because you had to go into, like, they had these buildings that kind of looked at like corporate buildings downtown, and they would have floors, and every floor would have 5 to 10 rooms, and one floor might have Guess jeans, one might have Nautica, one might have Polo, one might have Iceberg, one you just had floors and floors of floors of floors of grade A bootlegs. Now, the reason why a lot of people wasn't hip to that game or was able to even get in those establishments was because of the price of the garments. If you ain't have no money, they wasn't letting you in those rooms. You wasn't getting in those rooms to even look at that type of merchandise. Because first of all, one sweater might be. Key, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, Key. So I was telling them back then, the reason why a lot of people wasn't up on game because that bootleg game was kind of like the underworld, and you had what was the number of the building we used to go to re-up when we used to go to them buildings?
Me on 27th Street,
Yeah.
1165.
All right, we used to go to building 1165, and I was explaining it to them, Key. So they don't think I'm stunting. Can you explain the atmosphere of 1165?
Oh, every floor had everything, y'all. Every floor had everything. And later on, they started selling like perfume on certain floors and like that. I had a good run, you know what I'm saying?
Like Cologne, all right. All right, so I was just telling them the same thing like they had, but I was also telling them if you wasn't a high roller in a certain stance in the merchandising game, you wasn't even getting on those floors or getting to even see merchandise. Cause even though they was bootlegs, how much was a iceberg sweater? One sweater wholesale, Key.
I know we probably paid like $50.
All right,
$50.
so you pay $50 for one sweater, right? How much was the Coogis and the Coogis with the hats, the sets?
I think like 75.
So you pay like 75, so that's like 50 for the sweater, $25 hat. Come uptown, sell it for $350. All right, now check this, right? So if you think you going down there just to go get you a Coogee set to get fresh to go to the tunnel, you was sadly mistaken. You was only seeing that merchandise if you was coming to spend some bands, because you had to come cop 5 or more sweaters, or half a dozen or more sweaters. They wasn't, you think niggas was letting they empire be blown up for a nigga that want to go get fresh to try to go get a sweater for $50? Nah, you had to explain that, Key.
Yeah, you had to be buying hundreds of sweaters. Hundreds. Or they not even opening the door for you. First of all, you got to be put on and even know what's behind the door.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's some facts.
if
Some
you ain't put
facts.
on,
So it was a time, right? I remember. I remember. He always figured out a way how to stay. Like, Key, the reason why I continue to live a flashy life after I met him, right? Key, when I met Key, see, he come up here and he do his antics or whatever, but Key is really a hip hop baby. Key know how to DJ. Key know everything about music. He's very intelligent. And not only is he inducted in hip hop on that level, but also on the fashion. Key was the nigga when you seen Key, wintertime, champion hoodie, wore his snorkel on, skelly baggy, big Timberland boots, a chain with a circle piece with probably the same Mary on it, some fronts. Nigga looked like he straight looked like niggas used to think he was Lil. Niggas used to think he was Shaheem, the rugged child. That's how fly he used to look like as a little nigga, young nigga. And I remember when I first got acquainted, because when I told you when we first met, we ain't hop over. When me and him really got close, when it got to a point where I stopped hanging out with my best friend Aaron, and I was hanging out with Key every day, because Key was that motivating nigga that he always had a way to get us some fucking money. So Key would be like, yo, you gotta get you some shines, B. You gotta get you some shines. So I'm like, yo, Key, this before the Uncasa wave. I'm just boogie blind from 151st. This before nigga Uncasa. Right? I was unto my niggas, but to the world, I was just nobody. So Key used to be like, yo, you gotta get you some shines. You gotta get you some shines. So I'm like, yo, Key, nigga, They ain't got no money for no shots. He was like, nah, I got you. Watch. So one day, we went down the canal. He was like, yo, watch the car. He used to park in this little ass alley with mad graffiti. It still exists to this day. He got down to the alley we used to park in the re-up. It's still there to this day, right? Parked in this alley. He took a Dutch out the glove compartment, threw him like, took a napkin, ripped it up. This is keys, and this is how he get down. He's a clean ass nigga. He ripped off a big ass piece of napkin, put it on my lap like a roll up. I'll be right back. I'm like, where you going? He said, I'll be right back. Going to the re-up spot. So go to the re-up spot, go get whatever he come in. When he come in, he put a box on my lap. I open the box. It's a bone bracelet. I'm like, oh shit. If y'all don't know what a bone bracelet is, it was basically a bracelet made of gold and diamonds that looked like it resembles a handcuff. He had one already. And I thought he had gave me his bracelet. I'm like, yo, he said, nah, nigga, look, nigga, I still got mine. It's yours. I'm like, oh shit.
If you're just coming on in right now for the first time, make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps us with the algorithm. Be sure to hit that join button and buy your membership right now for the most exclusive, uncut, raw, unfiltered content and all the latest lessons in AI technology. See you there.
Right? So now I got to go. Now I'm feeling myself. I got the bone bracelet on. He was like, yo, we going to go to the Bronx to my barber. We going to go get some shape-ups. We going to go to the crib. We going to go get fresh. I said, what we going to wear? He said, nigga, what, nigga, we bootleggers, nigga. We know where everything at. We went downtown. We went and got us some royal blue shorts. I remember we had on the same exact outfit. This is what killed niggas. We went and bought like some windbreaker royal blue shirts. The nigga Key had a box of NRE Nori niggas on the run eating promotional t-shirts. I don't know where this nigga got them shits from. But he was like, yo, we gonna wear these Nori shirts with these shorts and we gonna go get us some Reebok classics with the footy socks. We gonna kill a block. So I'm like, bet. We throwing them fits, we throwing them bone bracelets. We went to the car wash. This is when it started being illegal to put the tree air freshener in your car. So Key used to go to the car wash in the Bronx and used to go get the car wash, and it used to be these square air fresheners that you rip the plastic back and put them under your seat. That shit had should smell like vanilla, coconut, any type of cologne. So Key used to go spend $10, $15 on those, had the whole car smelling. So if you get pulled over, all you smell is that. So we smoke it, whatever. We get fresh, we go to his crib, go get shape-ups, go get fresh. He's like, yo, I got money in my pocket. He said, oh, that shit feel good. It remind me of the scene from Strap when nigga after niggas sold little guns, niggas like, don't feel stupid good to have money in your pocket. So all day we ride through the Bronx, Harlem, re-up spot. We ain't even get back to the block yet. So we get back to the block to go get some weed. He said, watch when you hop out, son. Watch, son. Watch. I'm telling you how people treat you when you got that shine on. So we pull up on a block, hop out on a block, everybody on a block of summertime. That motherfucker, when it's nighttime on our block, we got them lights on a building that's like, I won't say like jewelry store lights, but they be like them orange, like bright ass lights. So me and Key, we walk up on a block, we go get some Dutchess from Mike. Shout out to my nigga Mike, my first op. So we go get some Dutchess from Mike. This is when Dutchess was 50 cents. We go right to Andy's, go get 2 dimes. Them shits looked like 50s. We was hustling on this. So remember those days? So we go.
Of course.
So we used to go get the dimes of skunk and shit look like 50s from the Jamaicans. We pulled up on a block, cars smelling good, shouting 323, bumping, sound like a marching band in it. That's why when Jeezy said that line, that shit almost made me cry because that's exactly how me and Key used to sound when we used to drive down our block, like a marching band was in it. So we pull up on a block, we cracking the Duchess. As we walking up, we get right by 555. That light hit that bracelet. I ain't gonna blow her up, but she hopped off that shit off the stoop like, damn, Boogie, that shit on your wrist is crazy. And Key just started laughing, mad loud. And I was like, nigga, stop laughing, nigga. So we chilling on the block. And not saying I ain't have respect on my block and all that type of shit, but I seen how motherfuckers treat you when you looking good and you shining. So I'm gonna let Key elaborate on that day. So you tell him how what you seen on that block. And
I really didn't see shit on that block but a couple of dollars. That's why we took our show on the road.
I'm talking about the explain the day when we pulled up on the block with the bone
That day.
bracelets. Yeah.
It was. I see that it was more of a memorable day for you than it was for me, but it was a good day that day. You know what I'm
Like
saying? We felt
like
good.
cause Key already had shots and shit, but it was just like he was happy to see me like not shit on niggas, but to
No,
have
that's
my
exactly what it was. I was
yeah,
happy to see that you shitting on niggas.
that if you want to see, and that's what those nigga had on that brush like niggas only seen that shit on the
On it
Jay-Z
because
album
I wanted
cover.
you to show that you was better. You know
You
what
know what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
Because we already showed at that point
And
you
I
could
didn't
rap
have
and all that. You feel
and
me?
my mentality was never that. I was always a humble nigga. But being around Key, he was always like, nah, fuck that shit, yo. We work too hard, bro. Fuck that, bro. Niggas ain't out on the streets like us. We be out here in the rain, sleet, and snow for real, nigga. We be on the field for real, nigga. Niggas don't do it like us. We be sleeping in this car, motherfucker. You bugging, nigga. So we came, like I said, we came up on our block, crispy, rich porters. That's what you call a Reebok Classic. Crispy, rich porters on your feet. And they seen them with the light reflecting off that bracelet. And I'm telling you, bitches treated me different. Niggas treated me different. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I say 75 was love, 25 was hate. Because niggas was mad like, yo, how the fuck them niggas get them shits? And niggas couldn't even question was they real or not because niggas know them things you had to be getting some type of money because the only niggas that was wearing those bracelets that we had was Jay-Z and Dame Dash. And all the bitches on our block was a little older than us at the time, so they was out fucking with Willie niggas. So when they seen them shits, and I had the studs in my ear, I had bought the studs. I ain't gonna front the studs with some cubics, but they ain't know that. But I just looked like a straight rapper nigga that day. So after that, and then like that jury shit, that's why niggas be buying like, cause back then they don't do shit for me now, cause I got a bunch of jury that I don't even wear. But what I be saying, that shit was a confidence booster, cause it was like y'all niggas can't get it, y'all speculating now. Damn, this nigga really touching that much money. That's how you think when you young. You don't think like that when you 45 and all that. But when you 17, 18, and you on the block and you just sold 500 CDs and made a few bands, and these niggas been on the block all day, and these niggas made $100, and that $100
You
y'all
know what's
made,
crazy?
and that hold on, and that $100 y'all niggas just made, we just spent in weed. Facts. Go ahead, Keith.
The crazy part is, as I'm sitting here now, you know what I mean, just listening to the story and I'm analyzing it from a whole nother frequency aspect, right? I'm coming up with the conclusion of because we've been shining on them, bro. We've been shining on them for decades. For decades, we've been shining on them. So it makes sense now that they would try to steal our light. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? It makes sense now that they would siphon our light and basically use it as a cheat code to enhance whatever they're doing to steal off of our creative properties. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of who came up with
nah,
that saying amongst us that said you could how the saying go again? I
nah.
forgot it.
Let me tell.
You could
Let's get
fake it,
deep.
but
Fake it till you make it. Some shit, right?
from oh,
Right. I'm gonna get deep on these niggas, right? I'm gonna tell these niggas a story, right? Because this is how deep that niggas hate you when you shining, right? I always taught, and this is how you. That's why any niggas that's out there that's confident, right? What they talking about in the chat, Keith? Because I can't see the chat. What they talking about?
they talk about nothing right now.
All
They
right,
listen.
all right. So after I got that bracelet, right? The car ain't make no like. Y'all gotta understand, right? We not no big drug dealers. We might like, all right, let's say this. We not no kingpins, right? We making more with an average drug dealer doing when we was selling the weed, right? The weed always been like just a necessity. It's always been there, right? But when we was selling the merchandising, niggas really start touching real fucking money, right? So when you touching real money and you seeing with niggas in the streets that get real money, how they eat, how they dress, how they talk, what bitches they fucking, what they driving, and you young and you come from nothing, and you going in the store hiding food stamps because your friend, you get tired of that shit. And Key, from the day I met him, he was like, "You a hustler," and I was like, "Yo, I don't know how to." He was like, "I'm gonna show you, you know how to hustle." And he threw me to the fucking wolves. And once I showed him how I had dedication to the hustle, that's when he believed in me. It was one instance where I walked in the rain looking for weed for about 2 hours in a pouring rain. He was like, yo, you ain't come back with no weed, but yo, you get a E just you get a nigga, I love you just cause you went out there just to look for some shit. You remember that day? Right? Then I'm gonna tell her, I'm being transparent with niggas. So you gonna be like, damn, I didn't even know you was gonna go that deep. Right? Now, after I got that bone bracelet, we start seeing a lot of weed money. We start seeing a lot of CD money. We opened up a little shop on the block. It wasn't for long, but we opened up, so it's making us look like we doing bigger things. And mind you, I'm young. I'm only 18 years old. We ain't got a Porsche or a Benz on the block, but we got a shiny ass silver Mazda 323 sitting on 5-star red stick shift, and it's ours. And ain't nobody on the block driving. Nobody. Only nigga that had a car on the block was my man Darius, and he was a big drug dealer at the time. Other than that, the only body that was from our block at our age, we was driving up and down the block, stick shift skirting out, keys to show off. Stick, man, at 18 years old, we young kids, right? So not only I got the bone bracelet, now we driving every day, we coming through the block. One day, and Key heard it. He was probably on there. I forgot. I think he was in the crib fucking with a CB or doing some shit in his crib, right? We had a water fight on my block, right? And Key was telling me like previously, he was like, these niggas hate you, bro. Yeah, stop fucking with these niggas. These niggas hate you, bro. You looking too good on these niggas, You ain't you grown out that boogie blind shit. You grown into your Uncasa shit, my nigga. Niggas hate you, bro. And I was like, damn, it's like that. He's like, nah, bro. I see how niggas be looking. Niggas be smiling and all that, but niggas be whispering, bro. Niggas be hating on us. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be careful. Be careful. One day we got a water fight on the block, whatever. Got on a t-shirt, whatever. Niggas playing But an older nigga tried to take advantage of me, and nigga ripped my pants off to where my drawers and my pants ripped off for me to where I had to run in between the car. So I'm like, from right there, so right, got my pants to where I can run in the building and fold them up all right, and I wasn't even embarrassed or none of that shit, right? So Key was like, yo, niggas ripped your pants. He was like, I told you how these niggas trying to do anything to embarrass you. But I'm like, I came out the next day with my head up high because I'm like, yo, Key, I see exactly what you're talking about now, bro. Because niggas are standing, it was niggas that was standing on the block all day, bummy. We coming out fresh every day. We always kept our haircuts. This one I used to always love the Rock of Caesar. Used to always keep our haircuts. Always, the sneaker man was on our block. So we used to always go to the sneaker man. Like, we always was access to doing us. So the hate to a nigga that wasn't getting nothing, nigga try to do anything. Niggas know we fucking bitches. So anything to try to embarrass me, and once that happened and I figured it out, I said, watch my major payback. I'm gonna come back to this fucking block. I'm gonna shoot my first video on this shit. I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna shit on these niggas. And when I shot that Purple City,
He want to shit on niggas now, y'all.
yeah.
He want to shit on niggas.
When I did that Purple City Bird Gang video in the middle of 51st like that, and the cops out there, and they out there for my security and to keep the block steady. And I got a Winnebago trailer on the corner of 151st and Broadway where we used to fucking hustle at. And Cam and everybody pulling up on the block for us, and all the cameras and cranes and shit is out on the middle of 151st where we hustled at when niggas said niggas did all that sucker shit trying to keep a nigga down. I'm the first nigga to ever bring some shit like that in the middle of the hood, nigga. Me, same block, same fucking block I hustled on. I brung them fucking cameras in the middle of the fucking block. I brung Jim Jones in the middle of the fucking block. We parked the fucking piano in the middle of 151st where I used to play on a play street, nigga. Playing Scalzies at and all that. Like niggas were like, and you know, like you can elaborate on the shit that I said. You probably ain't think I was gonna go that deep, but it's like sometimes you gotta let niggas know how much hate and how much niggas be trying to just humiliate you and try to do the wackest things to you just because of who the fuck you are. Word, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, and then after that, it was like, oh, I remember I had got a check. This when I was down with Black Ground Records. This when I first got one of my record deals. 90, this was like 99, going on 2000, right? Got a record deal, got a check. I came to 45th, came to the block with Wild Bands. Nigga Kiani strikes again. Nigga says, yo, you gotta go get you some shines. So I said, yo, you keep talking this shine shit. Niggas, you see what them niggas try? Niggas that hated me on the first time. He was like, nah, son. You past that level. You ain't Boogie Blind. You ain't none of that shit no more. You nigga. Niggas, your name buzzing, nigga. We got our own shit. We run this block. This our shit, nigga. This is when we have 45th and all that. So now, when you got your man, when you young and you got your man telling you this, and you start looking at it like, yeah, this is our block. We is running this shit. Ain't no other black niggas on this block doing the shit we doing. We is getting money. We is doing this. We is doing that.
That's
Fuck,
right.
fuck that. We is going to get some shines.
There you go.
So, nigga took me up. He took me up to his man up there on Fordham, and I already had a bracelet, so I went up there. Key was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go get you a setup right now. You ain't gonna even spend that much." And this is the era of the skinny link. I call it the Ja Rule era when everybody had the skinny link with the cross on it. Everybody had the same link. Jay-Z, Ja Rule, me, everybody had that same link. So I remember Key went up there. He said, "Yo, my man needs some shines, B. He a rapper. He gotta look good. He don't need nothing too big, but he don't need nothing too small." So he was like, "Whatever you see, pick it out." So Key looking in the glass. He like, "Yo, let me see that." Nah, that shit whack. Yo, let me see that. He like, nah, that shit whack too. He was like, "Yo, let me see that right there." And it was this cross. This shit was mean. Shit was like this big. He was like, "Yo, it's this." It was like this big. He was like, "Yo, that link that's hanging up right there, put that on that shit. That shit right there. Nah, not that one. That one right there." I was like, "Oh, that's that link, Ja Rule and Ja." He said, "Exactly. I know what I'm doing, nigga. Hold on, huh?" So he went to the man to the side, whispered some shit to him. It's like, "Nah, my nigga, nah." They was doing the calculator shit back and forth. He was like, "Nah, nigga." He was like, "Come on, Key, you always trying to get me." He was like, "Nah, this my little man, B. This my little brother, B. You gotta get right, bro. My bro rapping all that, bro. We gonna come back for more. I'm telling you. Nigga. Yo, show him the money, Pulled out stacks on this nigga. He was like, that nigga about to get my nigga signed with a Lear in them, nigga. He was Timberland in them niggas. You know, Key was selling, he wasn't even throwing no sauce on it. That's why I was around at the time. So he was like, "All right, Key." So Key was like, "Yo, give me this." Gave Key a few bands. He gave it to him. So I put it on my neck. He's like, "Look in the mirror." The mean cross with the big ass baseball diamond in the middle. Then he was like, "Now you gotta go get fresh." I was like, "Key, I ain't trying." He's like, "Nigga, you ain't gonna spend all your money. We going to 45th. You know niggas gonna give us a discount." Go there. Wind up getting, we go in the store. This when they first dropped the motherfucking velour Sean John velour sweatsuits. I had got the money green joints with the money green cream Tims with the green beef and brats with that shit with the skelly to match. Went to Key crib, got dressed again. It'd be like the same story. Went, got dressed, came back to the block before the block closed. Everybody like, "Ooh, you killed that. Ooh, let me see." And that's why I always said, that's why still to this day, that shit stuck with me about wearing jewelry and shit like that. I'm mindful of where and how I wear my jewelry now. But back then, it was just like, if you had it and you worked hard, nigga, that's how we celebrated. We is copping diamonds, bro. We was copping chains. We was smoking. Niggas like all that shit all that shit y'all niggas hearing rappers do. I wasn't even of no status. Like, yet I just had a name in the streets. Me and Key was running, nigga, having threesomes with bitches, foursomes with bitches in the motherfucking telly at 18, 19 years old, smoking every weed that you can imagine. Dro, Pellet, Elliot, Branson, nigga, everything that all y'all rappers was talking about, we was doing. And I know y'all niggas is lying because we ain't see none of y'all niggas there. And we was outside. We ain't see none of your niggas there. I ain't see none of you niggas there, bro. I ain't see none of them niggas there. It was only a very few niggas that we was seeing. We was running into niggas like Lil C's, seeing niggas like that, Big, stuff like that. Who else we used to bump into? Fat Joe, niggas like that. We wasn't not all you rappers, and and when he got popping, I used to run into Nori when he first dropped his album in weed spots and other than that, I ain't see none of y'all niggas nowhere, bro. For real, nowhere. Y'all niggas wasn't at these spots. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all niggas wasn't there. Y'all can go to the tunnel tape, see niggas in there tossing it up. Come to 45th. Everybody in my crew had a chain on their neck. Everybody, except a few. And the ones that ain't had no chain on their neck, they ain't want no chain or they ain't grind enough to get one. So that's why they ain't had one. Me, Key, Luch, T Money, Blacker Dawn. You come out there, and it's the white gold era. Everybody got on 14 karat white gold, no dip shit. We ain't dipping nothing. We buying that shit the way it come, nigga. Straight up. Straight up. If you think I'm lying, go to Cam's album cover, Come Home With Me. 90% of those chains on Cam neck is Taliban chains. Facts.
That's a fact.
That's a whole fact. Like, I'm just dropping the science here. Like I can remember shit since I was 5, so I know I can remember some shit from the 2000s and the 90s. Like, those shits was pivotal points and moments in my life, so I can never forget them. I remember the first day the diplomats came to the block with they diplomat chains. You probably remember that too. When they came right to 45th to show us.
Mm-hmm.
When they bought the first Eagles, they made Aviante and them niggas famous. This when they first got their diplomat chains from Aviani. All them niggas had them shits.
Mm-hmm.
They came to the block showing us. Like, so, like I said, everybody pretty much was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wasn't taking care of us. Everybody was hustlers. Luch, T Money, Key, me, Fo, everybody. And like they said, me and Key, we've been doing us before the Taliban even got put together. Before anybody screamed T's up or anything, everybody was screaming off the muscle. Straight paper. He got old pictures with straight paper written on the side of his car in big white letters. Am I lying?
Not at all.
Like we've been up here 2 hours just dropping the science. I we long-winded with this shit because you gotta, when we telling our stories, you gotta smell how 45th used to smell. You know what I'm saying? I want you to smell, I want you to taste the baked chicken and potato salad from Copeland's. I want you to smell the brand new boots out the box when you go to BJ's. I want you to smell the brand new thread on a sweater or the page of a Dawn Diva magazine when you open it, because that's what 45th was. Now, a race, Uncasa and Key out the equivalent, you wouldn't have none of that shit. And that's a fact. That's not trying to disclose nobody. It started with 2 pillars. It took 2 pillars to take that leap of faith to know that we can make this into something. And I'm telling y'all, it was some to build to build the legacy that y'all hear about on 45th and Broadway. It was some cold ass days. It was some snowy days. It was some rainy days. It was some hot days. It was some slow days. It was days where it was so fucking slow. It was getting fucking to the point to where niggas was getting discouraged until one Friday. It was bright and sunny, y'all, and niggas just turned their hustle up to now we harassing you motherfuckers. That's why we really was the Taliban, because not only now that we making you buy something, or if you don't buy something, a nigga can't tell you, like, what, you got a money shortage in your hood or something? Y'all niggas must be, y'all dope must be bad in y'all hood. Y'all niggas ain't getting no money. And that would hurt a nigga pride so much where he'll either damn near fight us or he'll just cop anything that we had. And that was our fucking marketing employee. We're in soda, nigga, we know getting money. How the fuck you coming out of BJ's with five sneaker boxes and we just seen you cop 400 grams and you talking about you can't buy you talk about you can't buy 3 CDs. We be all in a nigga business, and a nigga just laugh. And then from doing that for 2, maybe 3 years straight, it became to now niggas just look, yo, what the Taliban? Oh, there they go right there. And from now, you ain't have to look for us. You know to come right in front of BJ's, right in front of the bar. You know where we at, right in front of BJ's, 9 to 9, really from 7 to 9. Sometimes we out there after the stores close because it's just that lit. We bring the camaraderie there. Only thing that closed at 9 o'clock is the clothing stores. Everything's still open. Like the motherfucking bar, the liquor store, the pool hall. So we out there. We ain't gotta go. Sometimes we ain't leave that block until midnight. So we out there from 7 in the morning to midnight. And sometimes we doing that 365 days of the year. We out there on Sundays. We made it to where it was cool to come to Hump 45th on Sundays. Cause you know why? Niggas didn't know who they was gonna see. Nigga come to the van. We be sitting in the van smoking. He come to the van, Snoop Dogg and Half Dead and Trade E and all the East Siders are sitting in the van smoking with us, joking, drinking, eating chicken wings with us like they from Harlem. And niggas like, oh shit. Or Redman sitting in the truck with us. Or Scarface sitting in the truck with us. Yo, what niggas you know that did that? Ain't no niggas in the history of hip hop had the camaraderie from being street vendors. What niggas you know that got star status from being street vendors, man? Name one. You know a lot of niggas that got next to niggas from being drug dealers and like Meech and all them. Everybody became, but nigga, we became a household name from being street vendors. Real shit. Being street vendors. That's why I say me when I talk about 45th, I think I had beautiful times on 45th. I had times where I laughed all day. I had times where it was just like never a dull moment on 45th, and everybody added the character. Everybody, you can't come out there without seeing Luch, me, Kiani, Kenny Black. Kenny Black was a character within itself. Charismatic, funny, tall and lanky. Niggas love, yo, like, come on, bro. And then you start getting little bacteria that'll start to slide in because niggas got too lackadaisical and start just letting everybody come to be around. That was the demise of the Taliban. That was the demise of Hump 45th, letting motherfuckers in that ain't have nothing to do with nothing. Niggas just came to rape and pillage the hard work niggas did. Cause niggas couldn't even understand a good thing. Like, nigga, you making good money every day doing something that most men be ashamed of doing. We turned panhandling into a cool job. We turned panhandling into a cool job. Nobody will never think of come stand on 45th and be like, yo, I got CDs and movies. I got CDs. Niggas will look down on you. We made that shit cool to where the Africans start to happen, open up stores. Taliban's the reason why these niggas start opening up music shops and all that shit around the city. Because we brought the camaraderie, we made it cool. Nobody ain't ashamed to sell music no more. And then after we start selling everybody else music, he came up with this bright idea. We selling your shit now. That's the story. Niggas want to tell a story about Taliban. That's the story. Started with them two niggas.
And just like that, bada bing, bada boom, we started it. You know what I'm saying? We came, we conquered. Some stole some light, but we getting the siphon back, and then we shut the whole block down just like this.
Welcome to another insane reaction video with the Hustleman 3.0. Join us to uncover the full truth. Please like, comment, and share to join the Hustleman 3.0 and his most trusted pal, Wada Black.